Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Everquest Old School. And on tonight's episode, we are going to be working on our blacksmithing again, guys. Now, on the last episode, we worked on our middle bits, which got us up from level 0 to 21, and we kind of touched on the scalers, which are going to take us from 21 to 41. We're going to continue doing that one. I needed to look it up to find out where you actually bought that over here. We were looking in the armorer over here in the shop right here. Unfortunately, they don't sell those very specific modes, or molds, I should say. So if you want to buy those, you need to come over here to the Trader's Holiday. And this is actually going to be somewhere you're going to be going to in the future for other stuff as well. Because if you come over here to the left, you'll see this NPC right here, Tislin, has those items that we're looking for. Where are they at? Scroll down right there. They sell for 5 silver, 2 copper a piece. So we're going to go ahead and buy a few of these, just kind of get them going. Now I looked up as well. These scalers don't seem to be used for anything, so we're just going to sell them back. We're selling them for 1 gold, 4 silver, 3 copper, which is not bad actually if you think about it. The molds aren't even worth the gold. So with everything we're throwing into them, we're making not even, but close to it, enough that we don't really need to worry. I'm going to leave one space open so we can throw the very first one in there. And one of the other recipes that we're going to be doing down the road is going to be for the large lantern. That's going to be skill 41 to 68, and that's going to require a bottle as well. And you can buy the bottles from in here at the NPC. So as I said before, this is a shop that you're going to be coming to on somewhat of a regular basis, and it's just right around the corner from where you're going to be making this stuff anyway. So not too far of a run, and if you're really overweight, you should still be fine. Let me actually close this down. This doesn't need to be up. So let's get a little closer so it can look like we're actually working on it there. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and throw in one of these molds, one of these waters, and one little middle bit. And you can see right there, we got better in our skill 25, and we fashioned the item together. If you fail to fashion the item together, you're going to be losing a little bit of cash. So depending on how good your wisdom or your intelligence, because it uses both, you may go through a little bit more money. But when you work on your skills, that's just going to be something that happens, to be honest. It's kind of it's one of those things where you're going to have to decide, not only you're going to spend a little bit of time invested into your skills, but you're also going to spend a little bit of cash. In the end, though, there's always going to be at least one item in that skill somewhere along the way. It may be a low level, to be honest, like the tailoring. At a low level, you get or not a low level, but about mid-range, you get the ability to make weight reduction backpacks with the bear skins. And that will make you a little bit of money, actually. A lot of players want that, and they're willing to pay up to 60 platinum for one of those. And the skins sell for about 30. So you're going to make more money on the transaction as long as you make this stuff than you will if you lose. And it looks like he was actually making stuff as well. So I think he wanted to use that trade skill thing. And unfortunately, only one person can use it at a time. So we have to, when we go back, wait for him to be done with it. Usually you want to find one that nobody else is using or go to another one, but as I said before, we need these little pieces over here, and so we gotta have to be next to it. Now I do believe you can find a forge that you can put down yourself, like these spits that you can use for cooking. They have I think they have one for the forge as well, but I wouldn't know where to get it. I haven't looked that up, and unless you're going to be doing it a lot, I wouldn't suggest having it because it's not going to be lightweight, and it's probably not going to hold up enough, items to make it worth it for you, as well as the fact that not only is the item itself not lightweight, but if you have weight reduction backpacks, you're going to be using up a slot for that as well. So let's go back over here and see if he is there. If he is, I don't know what to do. We'll just have to see. No, he actually is not here, so maybe he was just running by and seeing what was going on. Ooh, there's a middle bit. All right, we'll take the middle bit. Maybe he was going to work on it, or maybe he just finished. Let's keep going with this. Going to go all the way up, like I said, to 41 with this. There we go, a little bit more water. We failed, but we got up to 30. Yeah, this is going up really fast. I've kind of gone in with my brewing skill lately as well, and that one has slowed down dramatically. So I'm thinking the early stages of whatever skills you're working on, they go by a lot faster. and that kind of gets you, with your foot in the door, make you feel like you're actually doing something with it, and like, okay, yeah, I have invested some time. I'll go ahead and sit down for another hour and get another like 4 points into my skill and spend like another 200 platinum to get it up. Now I'm being a little ridiculous depending on what skill you're working on. If you're doing jewelry crafting, then yeah, it's ridiculous in the sense that you'd only spend 200 platinum for an hour of work on that, because you can go through 200 platinum in a matter of seconds doing your jewelry crafting, and that's not an exaggeration, guys. Jewelry crafting is just ridiculous at higher levels. When you start getting like the platinum bars and you start buying the really, really expensive gems, then yeah, you're going to go through a lot of money. Same thing in blacksmithing. If you happen to be working on the later levels and you have to buy those expensive bricks, for those of you who've watched the actual videos where we go out and hunt stuff in Soul A or Soul B, mainly Soul A though, you'll get those bricks, those large ores, and some of them sell for about 50 platinum. Those bricks will actually be what you're going to be using at higher skill level. So if you want to go, harvest those, they weigh, what was it, like 17, 18 pounds a piece. So you're going to be able to pick up, a backpack full if you have the weight reduction. If not, maybe not even that much. And then go back and make something. Or you can buy them from an NPC and spend, tons and tons of money buying those bricks. And if you fail like we do occasionally, you're probably not going to make your money back. And even if you don't fail, you probably still won't make your money back doing those. A lot of the time, the easier ones, the easier recipes to do to level up are not your big money makers. The big money makers are the ones that require a piece that usually is pretty hard to get, and then people want that because it is a really useful item, like the backpacks. But like this stuff that we're making right now, like nobody wants this stuff unless they're using it in a recipe for something else. But we've done most of the trade crafting so far. The only trade crafting we really haven't gotten into, to be honest, more than just a little bit, is the pottery or the jewel crafting. And I'm not really looking forward into getting into that one. I have heard if I want to do the shawl quest, I need to level that one up as well. So at some point we will tackle that, but it's probably going to be a little while. Like I'm going to need to sell a really expensive item or something along those lines to be able to afford to start working on that. The low levels might not be so rough, but it doesn't take too long before that one just gets ridiculous. And unless you're an enchanter, you're probably going to have a little bit of a hard time making as much money out of it, because you're going to want to enchant your bricks so that they will have those status effects, such as, +3 stamina or +6 wisdom, so that you can sell those items for actual cash to other players rather than just the NPCs. That's where you're going to start making a little bit of your money back. But I did that with my enchanter back in the day, and you never make back as much money as you put into it until you reach max level on it and you become a master jewel crafter. And then, and only after you've done it for a few months, just kind of making the high end stuff, do you start to make back all the money that you spent at the early stages. So it's a very costly trade skill. I think it's the worst one out of all of them in the game, but this one's not too bad. It's not the greatest. I would say it's about medium, a little bit higher on the medium scale, maybe out of a scale of 10, maybe a 7.5 on how much money you're going to be using compared to the other ones. So it wouldn't be my first choice to start with unless you're going to be using the items. If you're a tank, if you're a paladin or something like that, you're starting the game out, and like I said before, you manage to go earn yourself a little bit of cash, then I would do that, especially because some people get burned out on these. They get to max level or they get close to max level and they're like, you know what, I'm going to work on my trade skills. And then they sit here for like 8, 9, 10 hours a day, and they work on this for a few days, and they kind of leave the game afterwards because it's not the most exciting thing in the world. So my suggestion would be to do it in small increments, like do it for 30 minutes at the end of the night after a raid's done with. Go over here and make a few things and then, log off. Or before a raid starts, as everybody's getting together and it's kind of chaotic, you come over here and do, a few things of whatever. And that way you kind of level it up as you level up. And there's no big 14, 15 hours you have to sit here making the same object over and over again just to get those levels. And I can no longer get any levels out of this, can I? Let me look at what my level is. 41, and 41 is the max. Okay, so I didn't even need to buy any more on that last one. Let's go ahead and sell all of these things. And you can see I wasn't even failing on that one. I think I lost one out of all of those that I tried to do. So definitely trivial, but you still might lose one every once in a while. The higher your skill, the lower level thing you're making, the better odds you're going to have at making that stuff. So again, with like jewelry crafting, if you're maxed at 250 and you're going to be making, you know, like a level 36 skill, you know, ring, chances are you're going to succeed at that more than somebody else who's at 36. So, you know, you don't really want to make the big budget things until you're completely maxed out. Let's see, we're going to go ahead and make large lanterns. And the recipe for that one is 1 bottle, 1 lantern casing mold, 1 middle bit, and 1 water flask. So let's go ahead and buy the lantern molds from her. I believe she has them. Where are you at? Yeah, there's the lantern casing molds right there. So we'll go ahead and buy a few of these. Actually, we can buy a few more than that because we're going through our middle bits. Probably shouldn't have bought all of those, but let's see. What about you? I need to buy the bottles. So let's buy 1 stack of bottles. I'm not going to go through those very quickly because remember, it's 1 mold for each one of those, and you don't get the mold back. So unless you have all your backpacks completely empty, and good luck doing that unless you have, you know, an alt that you can trade all your stuff to. Otherwise, you're just going to have the same amount of mess that you always have in your backpacks, which, you know, everybody seems to have these days. So let's go ahead and put this in there. 1 middle bit and 1 bottle. Ah, nice. Okay, so let's take a look at that. And that is a secondary 1 weight, and it's small, so it's not too heavy, actually. Let's go ahead and keep putting that stuff in there. Actually, let's move some of this over. I'm going to put the water there. Let's do this. Those molds are just going to have to be from wherever I happen to pull them. But I want at least the bottles close by and the water close by as well. So we'll put that in there and we'll keep going with it. Now remember, they don't have to be in any, you know, specific order. They can just be in there. You just don't want them stacked. That's the only thing that will definitely make sure that you lose. Although they've kind of implemented safety features in this version of the game that weren't in the original. The original was very unforgiving in just like every detail. If you had a quest and the quest told you to go and get, you know, loot off of 14 monsters and bring it into them and give it to them, you know, in a certain way, and you went and you did all that, and you happen to put, you know, the wrong item or just too many of them, or they happen to be stacked, you would lose everything. The NPC would just gobble it up and be like, nope, sorry, you didn't do it right, go figure it out. And you're like, what did I do wrong? And they're like, I'm not telling you, you know, and you'd have to go back and do that all over again. And that was really difficult on some of these things because sometimes they wanted you to kill like raid mobs. And you'd go there with an entire guild, kill somebody, turn it in, and find out, oh, by the way, not only did you need all those items, but you also needed max faction. So if you didn't have max faction with, you know, the NPC, you weren't going to be able to finish that quest off. Same thing goes with these recipes. It was very hardcore. There's no, you know, little button that you can click and be like, oh, instantly make that stuff for me. Oh, he cast Spirit of the Wolf on me. Let's go ahead and give him a thank you and a buff as well. He might be trying to work on his as well, so I'll let him have that for a few seconds. And we're probably going to go ahead and in the episode here, guys, I'm going to sell these items real quick just so you can see what they're worth. Let's see, how much are these going to be? 2 gold, 3 silver, 9 copper, so not bad. And they add quite a bit of light, too. So if you have a newbie running around and he's blind because he's human or something along those lines, you can definitely give this to them. However, it does take up a slot and it doesn't give you any stats. So not exactly the best thing in the world, but as I said before, brand new character just coming to the server for the very first time. Blacksmithing is a very, very useful skill to have. I think one of the best ones. Tailoring is kind of nice, but it doesn't really become, you know, useful until you're a high enough level that you know, you probably wouldn't get a lot of use out of it then anyways for your actual equipment, unless you're a monk or something along those lines. As always though, guys, I'm AC Gamer, and I will definitely catch you all next time. Hey guys, and welcome to the disembodied voice of AC Gamer. We are definitely going to be doing a lot more series in the future, but here are a few of them that you guys might find interesting. Of course, you're more than welcome to check them out. I would love to hear your comments. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. It's definitely the indicator that I use to tell if you guys want to see more videos like that, of that particular game style, of that series in the long run. So when you guys leave comments down, it helps me decide whether we should keep doing it, as well as whether you want to see games like that in the future. And here are a few of them right here. I kind of picked out a few of different genres. We will be doing spotlights for other YouTubers in the future. So if you want to get a little shout out, definitely let me know. If you group with me, chances are you will get a shout out in here eventually. But for now, these are just 4 series that I have that I feel like could use a little bit more attention and that you guys might actually enjoy as well. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we will definitely catch you all next time.